Hi everyone, it's Melissa and welcome back to another Friday Reads. So today is going to be a little bit of a catch-up, but again, I can't really talk about things that I've been reading because I'm reading for the BookTube Prize right now. But this is also going to double a bit as my my August wrap-up. Because I read primarily BookTube Prize books, I didn't want to make a separate September wrap-up video because I'd really only be talking about one book. I read two other books, but one of them I already have a vlog up on, so I figured it wasn't worth making a separate video for that. So I'm rolling it in to this video. So let's start with that, actually. So the two non-BookTube Prize books that I read in August were, oh my gosh, I've forgotten its name. Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbard. This is the third book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, which really all work as standalones. Romance novels that I have really enjoyed. I think Eve Brown is my least favorite of the three. It's definitely my least favorite of the three. It was still like a solid read. I think I gave it like 3 stars. I enjoyed it well enough, but I just didn't find Eve Brown as interesting a character as Dani Brown or Chloe Brown, and nor did I really have any interest towards the main love interest in this one. I've already forgotten his name. But I didn't find him as interesting as Red and Zaf, who were the love interests in the other 2 books. So like as a couple, I just wasn't as interested in them. And there's a little bit of a weird dynamic because what happens is Eve Brown, she's kind of dependent on her parents. She's one of these people who, you know, they try something for like a month and then they decide, oh, I don't want to do that, and they try something else. And she just really doesn't have her footing in life, and she's relying too much on the fact that, you know, her parents are wealthy and she has like a trust fund or whatever, and they want her to take some responsibility for her life. So she goes out and applies for like the first job she sees that she thinks she's qualified for, which is the cook at a bed and breakfast, which is owned by, I forget his name, but like main love interest. And like, obviously they develop feelings for each other. It starts as kind of like they're annoyed with each other and don't really get along, and then that quickly blossoms into romantic feelings. But like the boss-employee relationship, like, didn't work for me as much. But like I said, I enjoyed it overall. I like Talia Hibbert's writing, how she writes like relationships and dialogue and stuff, so I wasn't going to hate it, but it just didn't do it for me the same way the other ones did. And yeah, that's really my wrap up for August, because the other book I read in August, which was not a BookTube Prize book, was Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham, and I have a whole vlog up on that, which I will link if you want to know more. What I am currently reading is The Art of Losing by Alice Zenither. This is a BookTube Prize book, so I can't talk about it. I was hoping to finish this by the end of August, but I didn't have the time to, so I still have about a third of the way to go. But I'm hoping to finish this by the end of the week, because I think today and tomorrow I could probably read enough. We'll see how that goes. So that's currently reading, and then on my TBR next is going to be The Phone Booth at the Edge of the World by Laura May Messina. This is another BookTube Prize book, and I forget what this is about actually, so I can't really say anything about that at all. But that's next on the docket. And oh, an update on my audiobook choice. So like last week I was between 2 audiobooks and I got you guys to weigh in, and Us Conductors by, I think the author's name is Shawn Michaels, I want to say. one, and that was probably the one that I was leaning towards anyway. It was the one about the theremin, like a person who plays the theremin, which is a very interesting instrument. And I couldn't do it. I think I listened to like 20 minutes, and I don't know if it's the book or if it's the narration, but I was bored out of my mind. So I stopped listening to that. So I think I'll try the other one that was on the list, which I can't even remember. I think it was an Alice Munro short story collection. So I'm going to try that one. The only other update I have is I got a copy of Some Hellish by Nicholas Herring. So Jill from Book Bully had talked about this. I think it was in her Giller Prize prediction video, if I remember correctly. And I had like heard of this because it's a local book, so set in Atlantic Canada, and I am Atlantic Canadian. And I don't ever, I guess I should like explain, because I always say that. I say that I'm a Maritimer or that I'm Atlantic Canadian. I will put up a map of what I'm talking about. But I never give my exact province or location just because the Maritimes, like, they're such small communities that I don't know. I mean, I don't have any delusions of grandeur that I'm some like big channel or anything or like famous, but there's something about being online that I didn't want people to know my exact location. But anyway, so the Maritimes are the 3 small provinces on the east coast of Canada: Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. And those are the Maritimes. When you add in Newfoundland and Labrador, those are the Atlantic provinces. Anyway, so Jill is from Newfoundland, and she was talking about this book, and I think it has a slip. I think the author is from, yes. So the author is from PEI, Prince Edward Island. And she was talking about this book, and I thought it sounded really interesting. It kind of sounds a little bit surreal or fantastical, which sometimes works for me, sometimes doesn't, but it intrigued me. And I've been wanting to read more Canadian literature in general because I feel like I'm very ignorant, I guess, when it comes to CanLit. And when she was talking about this, I thought, you know what? I really should read more Atlantic books as well, because I never do. And that's a real shame because I live here. I was born and raised here, and I think I should. And this one sounded intriguing to me. So I was commenting on Jill's video about like, oh man, like that sounds really interesting. And then Kathy from Goose Lane, who is the publisher, commented, like replied and said, well, I can get you a copy. She's the one who hooked Jill up with a copy as well. I thought that would be amazing. So this is the first ever advanced reader copy I've ever gotten. I've never requested them because I'm such a small channel that it just never occurred to me to, I guess. But yeah, thanks Kathy. She hooked me up with a copy. So I think Jill and I are going to buddy read this. We didn't really set a date, but we said like in a few weeks. So sometime this fall, we'll read this together. And I'm really excited to get to some maritime authors. This will not be the first. I intend to branch out more. So that's all very exciting. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention about this, because I was on a live, I think it was, yes, I was on a live, well, I mean, I wasn't live. I was watching one of Margaret Pernard's videos, one of her lives, and like commenting with people. And I think she had asked like, what are you hoping to read next? Or what's on your TBR or something. And I had mentioned this book, and a couple people were like, oh, like what interesting title or odd title or something like that. And it never occurred to me because this is very much like colloquial speak for at least the Maritimes, and I'm assuming like Atlantic Canada, because we share a lot of similar kind of unique dialect characteristics. I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but Some Hellish, like this title makes complete sense to me. I'm assuming the character goes through an experience that is hellish in some way. Around these parts, some is used as like for emphasis. It could replace a word like very or quite. So it's quite cold out. most people around here that I know wouldn't say it's quite cold out today or it's very cold out today. They would say, oh my gosh, it's some cold out today. And that means like very or extremely. So that's some hellish. Like, oh, I went to this restaurant and I got this dish and it was some good. Like that means it was delicious. So anyway, in case you were also wondering what the heck this title was about, that's a colloquialism, I guess. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all for this Friday. Like I said, I won't be posting a wrap. I've given you the wrap right now. But I think I will do a TBR, not quite a TBR, but a pile of possibilities for September because a lot of things have been speaking to me, and so I thought I would put that up. So expect that in the next couple of days. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll chat soon. Take care. Bye.